So, hello, welcome back to another episode of the Self-Overwhelmed with Tactics podcast. And today we are going to talk about dealing with emotions, essentially. I'm just searching for, or am I? Yeah, I've already been right there. Helpful versus harmful ways to manage emotions. Sounds pretty great. It's actually not that easy to find, good content, good articles on that. I don't actually know why, since it's something actually, quite important, I would argue. Like, really? But anyway. Helpful versus harmful ways to manage emotions. Negative emotions like fear, sadness, and anger are a basic part of life, and sometimes we struggle with how to deal with them effectively. And I do so as well. This is also partly the reason why I want to go through that, partly also because I know that a ton of other people have problems with dealing with that. Anyway, how to deal with them effectively. It can be tempting to act on what you're feeling right away, but that often doesn't fix the situation that caused the emotions. In fact, it may lead to more problems to deal with down the road. Some of the harmful ways that people deal with negative emotions: denial. Denial is when a person refuses to accept that anything is wrong or that help may be needed. When people deny that they are having problematic feelings, those feelings can bottle up to a point that a person ends up exploding or acting out in a harmful way. I don't know that. No. Well, I actually really don't know that, but I just know exploding, and exploding is not amazing. It's actually pretty fucked up and shitty. I dislike it. I heavily dislike it, even. Anyway. Withdrawal is when a person doesn't want to be around or participate in activities with other people. Something that I liked really a lot. Anyway, this is different than wanting to be alone from time to time and can be a warning sign of depression. Some people may withdraw because being around others takes too much energy or they feel overwhelmed. Others may withdraw because they don't think other people like them or want them to be around. In some cases, people who have behaviors that they are ashamed of may withdraw so other people don't find out about what they're doing. But withdrawal brings its own problems: extreme loneliness, misunderstanding, anger, and distorted thinking. We need to interact with other people to keep us balanced. Yes, and it is actually indeed something that I've learned today from a German streamer / media personality, not social media, but, not necessarily social media personality, but media personality, that said we need other people to get feedback, outside feedback, because often when we think things and go through things, we tend to not see things that we should be seeing. And the point of view that we're having might just be wrong or off balance. And by getting feedback from other people, what they say, what they think, what is important to them, their values, their points of view, you can get in balance once again. So it is incredibly important to socialize. It is such an important factor in life. Maybe even one of the most important things there is. Having friends, having good friends, having people that take care of you. And I've actually been pretty blessed with some people, and with some people actually really taking care of me. So shout out to you guys. And, also people that I don't know, like people, I just think about one person that does not necessarily directly have anything to do with me. At least not in the beginning, quite. Now I think it is something different. I would consider us friends. Anyway, if this person is gonna see it, no, this person is not gonna see it. Bullying is when a person uses force threats, or ridicule to show power over others. People typically take part in bullying behavior because they don't feel good about themselves, and making someone else feel bad makes them feel better about themselves or feel less alone. It is harmful to both the bully and to the person being bullied and does not address underlying issues. It is just unnecessary. But anyway, self-harm can take many forms, including cutting, starving oneself, binging and purging, or participating in dangerous behavior. Many people self-harm because they feel like it gives them control over emotional pain. While self-harming may bring temporary relief, these behaviors can become addictive and can lead people to be more out of control and in greater pain than ever. I know it to a degree of, well, I kind of know it. I also did it, and seeing this pretty widely spread variety of things that can be considered self-harm is very interesting. Sometimes I'm actually starving myself. I could just eat. One could say, okay, this is your discipline. You're disciplined because you are fasting indeed. But sometimes it's like, no, it is fucking dumb. Just eat something. And just not always being so picky about things. Anyway. Also binging, maybe one could argue. Not quite sure. Depends. But anyway. And also participating in dangerous behavior. Riding my bike in the most fucking ridicule places. And having headphones on while being on the street and biking. I had actually a very interesting encounter yesterday in terms of that. But anyway. Substance use is the use of alcohol and other drugs to make a person feel better or numb about painful situations. Alcohol and drug use can damage the brain, making it need higher amounts of substances to get the same effect. This can make difficult feelings even worse, and in some cases leads to suicidal thoughts or addiction. If you are concerned about your own or someone else's use of drugs or alcohol, talk to a responsible adult right away to get help. The good news is that with practice, everyone can do a better job of dealing with their negative emotions in healthy ways. One way to deal with uncomfortable or unpleasant emotions is to remember the word path. Path stands for, and now we actually get into the good thing, how to actually deal with things. And I'm actually kind of sorry to go through that in maybe such a sarcastic from time to time way, but also just not in such a good way. I think this is, and probably is, one of the most important things that I have ever talked about and have ever covered in an episode. Also in terms of myself, because I have major problems with dealing with my emotions. Anyway. This is supposed to be coffee. It's more or less coffee ground, but let's not think about that. PATH stands for pause, acknowledge, think, and help. The first one is pause. This step is important because instead of acting on feelings right away, you stop yourself and think things through. Count to 100 or say the alphabet backwards. Very important. Also one of the reasons why I like to pause and think about things for an extended period of time before I do anything. Sometimes just a day. And also, as I have discovered very lately, when influenced by substances, primarily alcohol, I just don't consume anything else. Caffeine, I wouldn't necessarily count as such a high stimulant or such a strong stimulant that it would actually kind of influence my decision making. But really thinking about the things that I'm doing when I'm drunk or toxicated, I don't know. Very important. Incredibly important even. Because I have done some, I don't want to say like some major bad things like criminal stuff. No, just some things that I afterwards regret and could have done differently and also should have done differently. Step 2, acknowledge what you're feeling. For example, you're mad at someone or you are sad because your feelings were hurt by what they did. Whatever it is that you're feeling, it is okay to feel that way. And I would say that it is important to know what you're feeling. Which feeling is it? Is it sadness? Is it being mad? Is it being something else? It is very important because if you do not know what you're feeling, you can't do that much about it. And also you can't figure out why you're feeling that way. You know, when you're mad, even though in reality you're sad, well, this leads to some completely different conclusions and something completely different. Like very, 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 very difficult. Anyway, step 3, think. Now that you have taken a few moments to figure out what exactly it is that you're feeling, think about how you can make yourself feel better. Step 4, help. Take an action to help yourself based upon what you came up with the think step, or in the think step. If you're having trouble thinking of ways to help yourself, try one or a few from this list. Very important is because I often also do not know what to do. I don't know how to handle my emotions. I don't know, even though I know which emotion it is, I kind of know where it is coming from. And I sometimes actually also know what to do, but I don't do. You know, this is the thing that I just then, for whatever fucking reason, do not act on. I don't know why, but yeah, anyway. If you're having trouble thinking of ways to help yourself, try one of this list. Mood boosters. Read the story of someone you admire. Watch a funny YouTube video, play with an animal, watch a movie you loved when you were younger, reorganize your room. Pretty good one, I would actually say. You know, even if it sounds a bit boring, a bit strange, a bit whatever, a good thing. You know, it's going to help you in various ways. It's going to make you feel better about you, yourself, or whatnot. But anyway, make a list of places you want to travel. Address your basic needs. Eat a healthy snack, which is something that I think about very often. Like when I feel bad and I know that I'm hungry, as I was actually today in the morning, because I haven't had any coffee yet, which actually really tremendously helps me with feeling satiated, you know, which, you know, is an attribute of caffeine as far as I know. Maybe also coffee per se, you know, I actually get satiated more by coffee than, you know, green tea or any other caffeinated drink. But yeah, you know, why it is so dumb actually, you know, why do I expect to feel good when I'm hungry? You know, when my basic needs aren't even met. Why do I expect to feel good? There's no way that I can feel good if I'm fucking hungry. Of course, one could talk about weaknesses and, you know, mentally just not strong enough and whatnot. Yeah, also, yeah, I admit that. I have been stronger, but I'm, you know, getting there again, I would say. Drink a glass of water. Yes, being hydrated, very, very big one for me. I don't drink anything, but I should. Take a shower or bath. Something that I like to use as a way to, you know, when I've been working a lot, I feel like, well, it's just been too much. You know, I need to do something different. And, okay, what could I do? Most often I think about, well, let's just take a shower because I need to do it anyway today. So I'm just getting it done right now. And then I feel refreshed, and I then also feel like, okay, I can work again. I can do something again. Anyway, take a nap. I can't take naps throughout the day. I'd like to, but it is just something that I am incapable of. Period. You know, no matter how much I'd like to be able to do so, I can't. Process feelings. Draw how you're feeling. Make a gratitude list. Punch a pillow. Scream. Let yourself cry. Rip paper into small pieces. Vent. Venting is not the same as asking for help. It is taking an opportunity to share your feelings out loud. We do this naturally when we talk with someone we can trust about whatever is upsetting us. You can also vent by writing a letter to the person who upset you. Keep the letter a couple of days and then tear it up. Stick to paper and pen. Using social media when you're highly emotional can be tempting, but you might say something you regret. Unless it is somewhat anonymous. Reddit, I think, is a very great way to get feedback for things that you're struggling with. And also just asking people, talking to as many people as you can, and a variety of people. I, in general, do not like it because I always feel like I do not want to waste their time, and I do not want to take time away from them. And even if I know that they seemingly like to do that, and also just do not take it as something that, how should I say, they don't think that I'm wasting their time, I still don't like it because I value other people's time, which is also one of the reasons why I do not like being late somewhere. People have time, people have a limited amount of time, and I do not want to waste it, period. I just dislike that. Problem solving. Make a list of solutions to problems that can help to brainstorm with a friend or family member. I think it can help. It's actually an understatement. Make a list of your strengths. There are plenty of things about you that are awesome, no matter how down you are feeling at the moment. If a person has upset you, talk with them directly. Fill in the blanks to the sentence, I feel X when this happens because X. Next time, next time could you please X? Example, I feel left out when there is no room at the lunch table because then I don't have friends to talk to. Next time, can you please save me a seat? And I'd actually really like to talk about that. I'd really like to talk about relationships and sacrificing, or sacrification, whatever the noun is, I actually do not know, in relationships. Does this really have to be a part of it? How can one deal with that? Because very recently I had to think about in a context of my last relationships, which I do not even want to slightly, kind of push into a negative space. It's been wonderful. I am still very glad that I've had this experience. More than glad. Very happy about that. Anyway, volunteering / acts of kindness. Do something nice for someone you know. Help a stranger. Volunteer your time. Hobbies / stress relievers. Learn something new. There are tutorials for all kids of hobbies online. For all kids, for all kinds of hobbies online. Create. Try a craft project, color, paint, or draw. Invite a friend to join you for added fun. Write. You could write a story, a poem, or an entry in a journal. Get active. Dancing, running, or playing a sport are some good ways to get moving. Play a game. Get a plant and start a garden. I would heavily suggest doing this with somebody else. I can't necessarily say why I believe this is more important or a good way instead of just doing it alone. But anyway, relaxation exercises. And I'm actually kind of getting cold. Recently, I've really often been quite cold. I don't know why, but anyway. Practice belly breathing. Put one hand on your stomach and start to inhale slowly. As you breathe in, imagine a balloon in your stomach filling up and continue to inhale until the balloon is very full. Put your other hand on your heart, feel your heartbeat, and hold your breath for 5 seconds. Now let your breath out slowly for 10 seconds. Feel your belly flatten like a deflating balloon. Repeat this process 4 or 5 times, and you should notice your heartbeat slow down and your muscles relax, because indeed your heartbeat is somehow correlated to the speed that you're breathing, which kind of also makes sense because when you're doing high intensity sports, you're breathing more, therefore your heartbeat is probably also going to be higher. Might also be kind of the other direction, like, okay, when your heart beats faster, you just have to inhale more just because your body needs more oxygen, which is a fact. Could also be going in this direction, but I think actually both are quote-unquote applicable. Try progressive muscle relaxation. Clench your toes for a count of 5, then relax them for a count of 5, then move to your calves, then your thighs, then your abs, then your arms, and then your neck. Play with Play-Doh. Go for a walk, feel the ground under your feet and the air on your skin. Focus on your senses. Find a guided meditation on YouTube. Do yoga. You can find videos on demand using your TV or online. Read a book. Listen to music, a podcast, or an audiobook. Unplug. Turn off your phone, tablet, or a computer for an hour or so. Also very important for me. It was one of the reasons why I like just getting out, moving, actually listening to an audiobook which may or may not be beneficial, or podcast when I am out. I might just do better when I am able to enjoy like everything that is around me instead of once again kind of pushing myself into this neatly lonely place. I don't know. Ask for help. Text a friend. Ask someone to just sit with you. Call a family member. Talk to an elder you trust. Call a friend you haven't talked to recently. If you are in a crisis, call 1-800-273-TALK or text MHA to 741-741. We can actually be pretty grateful, and we are pretty fortunate that there are a ton of hotlines that are there for people that do not necessarily have somebody to talk to, somebody that can help you with whatever you're going through. Very cool. I appreciate that. If nothing seems to work, if you still feel sad, worried, and scared after trying to help yourself, you might be showing the early warning signs of anxiety or depression. I want to emphasize, might. It's not a sure thing. Might. Screening is an anonymous, free, and private way to learn about your mental health, and if you're showing warning signs of a mental illness, visit mhascreening.org to take a screen. It only takes a few minutes, and after you're finished, you will be given information about the next steps you should take based on the results. Screening is not a diagnosis, but it can be a helpful tool for starting a conversation with your doctor or a loved one about your mental health. And before I end the episode here, I wanna actually check that out because I want to see what it is all about. Take a mental health test. Online screening is one of the quickest and easiest ways to determine whether you are experiencing symptoms of mental health conditions. Mental health conditions such as depression or anxiety are real, common, and treatable, and recovery is possible. Well, I would actually I think I need to kind of I need to record another episode today. I actually should, and I have to. But anyway, I am probably going to forget about putting it into the description. So, MHA screening. There you're going to find some tests. Is this? No, it's not the right thing. Just being somewhere. And also, I'm gonna mhanational.org/helpful. You're probably gonna find something if you Google mhanational.org and manage emotions. You're gonna for sure find this article that I'm now reading. Glad that I went through it. I really hope that I've been able to share something of value to somebody here on the podcast or on YouTube. If you've enjoyed it, liked it, leave me a like if you want to, or subscribe if you don't want to miss out on anything else, maybe related to that, maybe related to philosophy or something else. But I'm gonna see you the next time. So, bye-bye.